Have you ever been in a season where you have prayed so much but felt nothing? You are pouring out your heart, begging for some type of a sign, even waiting for even a little whisper, but yet that silence is louder than your own words. That silence, let me tell you this, can break you if you let it. And I know this personally because I have been there. Nights staring at the ceiling, at the walls, and asking, where are you, God? Why won't you answer? And the more that I searched, the more empty I felt. But here is what I learned in those hard seasons. Silence isn't absence. Silence is training. And once I started to understand it, I started hearing God in ways that I never imagined. When God feels silent, it's not just frustrating. It feels so personal, like you have been forgotten. And that's when that doubt starts to creep in and say things, like maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I have messed up so much in my past that it's all too far gone. Maybe God doesn't care about me anymore. And I had carried that type of weight for so many years. And the silence, it wasn't just spiritual. It was leaking into my daily life. With my family, I was getting short with, my wife, my children, people who are around me, people who love me and I love them. I was losing it. I had stopped dreaming. I had stopped believing and I just went to a low point in my life, and I started believing that silence had meant failure in my life. But silence doesn't mean failure. It means focus. Now think about it, right? When a coach, if you're on a baseball team or you enjoy sports, maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. A coach is training an athlete. They don't talk during every step. They watch. They let you push. They'll see if you will break or if you're going to grow. And what I found out about that is that God does the same exact thing in our lives. The turning point for me was when I had realized that I was looking for a loud answer, but God was speaking in whispers. I just had been ignoring them. It wasn't about lightning bolts or burning bushes. It was about discipline, about slowing down enough to notice Him, right? I started writing things down instead of just venting stuff out of the air, because sometimes our emotions can really catch up with us. So when I started writing, I started letting loose. I started letting my emotions go onto this paper. But then I started seeing patterns that were in my own prayers. I had cut down the noise. I took breaks from social media, which is a big thing, and I have filled that space with quiet walks, which actually had led me to a point that I had to listen, to the birds, to the wind. It just brought me to that specific area. And then I had shifted my questions. Instead of, why aren't you speaking? I asked, what am I supposed to learn in this silence? That's when things changed. That's when I began to notice small nudges, people crossing my path with the exact words that I needed to hear at that moment. Random Bible scriptures that were sticking out, moments of peace right before my chaos had really peaked its top. That's how I started to hear again. And if you're in that silence right now, I want to tell you this: don't quit. Don't quit. Keep pushing. And here are maybe some steps that might be able to help you out. 3 things that I have learned during this season that, helped me out a lot, but also can probably help you guys. Number 1, big, shift your perspective. Silence isn't punishment, it's preparation. See it as training ground. Number 2, simplify your approach. Stop waiting for fireworks. Pay attention to the whispers, through people, through Bible scriptures, even in your own consciousness. Number 3, stay consistent. Keep showing up. Keep praying. Keep moving. Silence tests your persistence, right? More than your faith. God's silence is not rejection. It's often a setup or the setup for the revelation. So if you're sitting in silence today, don't assume that God is gone. He's closer than you think. Sometimes the quietest moments are when he's building the loudest breakthroughs. So don't let the silence bury you. Let it build you. Because the same God you think is quiet is the same one that is writing the next chapter to your story. And if this spoke to you, do me a favor. Share it with someone who's been saying, I just don't hear God anymore. And remember for me, please remember this. Silence doesn't mean he left. It means he's preparing you to hear him clearer than you have ever before. Grace and peace, guys.